my most amazing artists. Today we're going to be finishing up our Vanessa Brandtly Newton inspired collages inspired by her illustrations. We took our painted papers that we used for our skin colors and our hair colors and cut out the shapes of our faces, our necks, and our shoulders. Then you could hold that body shape to your hair color paper so that you could draw your hair on top of your head to make sure that it fits. Remember, you're cutting and gluing everything today because we are collaging. Now, if you wanted hair that isn't available in a tracer or just to make sure it fits, you hold your head to that paper and always trace on the back. That way your pencil lines don't show. I'm tracing just up until my ears because I know that my hairline or my hair covers a little bit of my forehead, so I'm going to draw that in and also show it going down past my shoulders because it's long. Now I'm going to make sure it fits by doing that, but my hair isn't all the way up by my forehead because I do have some hair that hangs over top of my forehead. So I'm going to cut that part out so that it fits right on top of that shape, and it does fit. It's always better to cut things too big rather than too small. That way you can always give yourself a haircut or trim things down if you need them to fit. Then you can decide if you want to hold your paper vertically, like I do right here, or horizontally, which was the long way. Then you're going to cut out your lips, your nose, and your eyes all from paper. They do have to be collaged. You can't just draw them right onto the skin color. So make sure that you're drawing on the back or sketching or tracing it out with pencil first, then cutting it out. I'm always tracing on the back, that way my pencil lines don't show. The goal today is to make everything out of paper. You're drawing with your scissors and your glue instead of actually drawing on top of it. Now, when it comes to my eyes, I fold a piece of paper in half. Now, my eyes aren't skin color, but I'm going to be using the backs of these. Because I folded it in half, I was able to cut two at the same time of the same size. But if the eyes of my tracers were too big, you can absolutely make your own. Everything just has to be cut out of paper. I even cut the iris, or the colored part of my eye, out of paper. The pupil is going to be a little bit hard to cut out of paper, so I will draw that black dot on later on. Now that I've got all my shapes, I'm ready to start to glue. But I have to get my shirt down first. It's important that you don't glue your head and neck before you do your shirt. That way you can trace it and make sure it's the right size. Again, it's better to make your shirt too big rather than too small. You want it to cover up your shoulders and that body. But we're in Florida, we don't wear turtlenecks, so I make sure to give myself a neckline there that dips in a little bit. It could be a V-neck, it could have a collar on it, however you want. It could even be a dress that maybe has, or a shirt, like a tank top, or have different kinds of straps. Then I put glue all over the back. Remember, these glue bottles are different. They're a combination of a glue bottle and a glue stick at the same time. You will have to squeeze and press down as you work on it, then turn your paper over and give it a good massage on the back so that it really sticks. With the smaller ones, you won't have to do that as much because they'll stick easier with just a little bit of squeezing of the glue. You do want to make sure that you get glue all over your paper though before you stick it down. If you do the wiggle test and move your paper around and something falls off, you need to add more glue and then maybe flip it over and give it a massage again. With the thicker pieces like your head, neck, shoulders, shirt, and your hair, it's going to be a little bit harder to glue those because those are thick papers. Thick paper is going to take more glue than the tiny papers. Make sure you're doing your best job gluing, and when it comes to the little tiny pieces, you're going to want to hold them down as you glue. So always have one finger on there as you're gluing. Then you're going to get to use some art supplies to add details. Remember, this is only after you have collaged most of your body parts onto your face. I'm just using it to add some details like my eyelids, my eyebrows, maybe go around my eyes to give it a little bit of a line so it stands out more. Same thing with my nose. I'm going to outline my lips as well, but instead of using a black Sharpie, I'm using the color that they're supposed to be. So I use red for my lips, put that line in between, even make a couple detailed lines in my ears and my chin since those weren't showing. Then I can use the Sharpie for specific black details like maybe my eyelashes if you want to include those, and your iris of your eye. Then when it comes to the insides of my eyes, I'm going to get a little fancy here and use some glittery metallic crayons to show the inside iris bursts. Your eye actually has a burst of color which shows different lines going around surrounding the pupil. If you want to show those to make it look more realistic, you could absolutely do that. I'm also going to use the metallic crayon to show some more texture in my hair. Then I'm going to use a paint stick. These are not glue sticks, these are paint sticks. They dry in 90 seconds because they are quick sticks. So in just about a minute or so, they will be dry. If you do not like what you painted though, the good news is you could kind of rub it off like I just did because it wasn't dry yet. You don't want to have it all the way over the edge like that. That would break the stick off. So make sure that you are using it just peeking over the edge like I did. Then you're going to sign your name in the bottom right or left corner with a Sharpie, wherever you have room. Just your first name is fine. You don't need to include your class code too. Then I'm going to add some details if I have extra time, like some jewelry or accessories, maybe a hat, maybe glasses, maybe earrings, maybe a hair clip, whatever you want in your extra time. Remember, this is only if you have extra time. The most important part is that you get your head, your neck, your shoulders, your hair, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and you're wearing a shirt on your body as well, and you sign your name by the end of class today. If you have time to do all these awesome details, that would be fantastic. All right, awesome artists, have a great time today, and always make sure that you clean up when you are done, putting your lids on your glue sticks, lids on any paint sticks, and putting everything back. Remember, if you have any scrap papers that you don't want anymore, if somebody else would want to use it, you can put it in the scrap bin in the center of your bin or your table. That's a donation pile. Anything that you want to keep goes in your table folder along with your finished artwork. Anything you don't want to keep and that nobody else would want to use, like teeny tiny pieces, they can go in the trash. All right, awesome artists, have a great time creating your self-portraits. I cannot wait to see what you create.